I don't want to hear from you, all right? Why don't you get back in the kitchen, fix me a turkey pot pie.
Okay, here we go. Biden's town hall was moderated by George Stephanopoulos, who was a Democratic Party advisor, and he was communications director for Bill Clinton's 1992 presidential campaign. He was also an advisor for Bill Clinton in 1996.
And a large donor to the Clinton Foundation.
Yes. Trump's moderator was Savannah Guthrie, whose husband is Michael Feldman, who was a former Democratic political advisor and Vice President Al Gore's traveling chief of staff during the 2000 election campaign. Right? So we had Biden interviewed by a Democratic advisor and Trump interviewed by the wife of a Democratic advisor.
How is it possible I have not heard that point made anywhere?
I heard it on Twitter.
But you know what I mean? Like, why doesn't Trump mention this? Because that's the kind of thing, if you said that during a debate to a lot of people at home, they'd go, that's not fair. If you said, just so everyone knows, George, this guy, George, who I'm talking to, literally worked for the party that I'm running against.
Yeah.
Literally was a paid operative of my former opponent.
You know why? Because it was Michael Feldman's wife, and if Trump started attacking this woman for who her husband is, it wouldn't have worked. I can't attack this woman for who her husband is because I'm not an idiot. Right?
And you hate women.
Yeah, and I hate women, and I'm not running for political office and so on. You know, it's possible that actually, you know, Savannah Guthrie is actually like a moderate Republican who just married this Democrat from the Gore campaign. Was there anything else about this? Since I didn't watch it, somebody said that Trump had a beautiful smile, and then he smiled. Also, the Democrats are criticizing lefties on Twitter were making fun of this woman who was like behind Trump on the camera, who was like nodding, and they were like, wow, Trump had this token black woman in the crowd who was just nodding along at everything he said. And one person...
Biden had one too.
Yeah, and they were like, you know, I thought this was supposed to be a nonpartisan debate. Why is there an obvious Trump partisan plant in the audience? Like, shut the fuck up. Although I'm pretty sure, I don't know who it is, although I'd seen people on Twitter saying, we got to find out who this woman is. I'm not going to give you a source. Fuck you. But I'm pretty sure Donald Trump has or had. Do you remember like this black woman who was like his hype woman? Do you know who I mean? On The Apprentice, like she was like one of his advisors. She's like, there's okay, you'll know
Omarosa?
her. Maybe. I guess because I remember
Diamond
her.
and Silk.
No. It wasn't Diamond and Silk. It might have been Omarosa. No. I remember specifically. There's a clip talking about how Donald Trump decided to run for president because of like Obama making fun of him during the Correspondents' Dinner, and there's this black woman who said, Donald Trump will become president, and everybody will have to bow down at the feet of the master. It was very distinctive wording. It might have been Omarosa. Let me just... Yeah, okay. Former political aide to Donald Trump. In August 2018, Omarosa published Unhinged, detailing her tenure at the White House and criticizing Trump. Okay, so it's probably not Omarosa. Well, the point is, Donald Trump is not new for having black female hype women. Wing women, really. Moving on. Oh, yeah, it's something called the Great Barrington Declaration. Dan, that's you. The Great Barrington Declaration. Tell me about it.
So,
all right,
friend
fantastic.
of the show,
Moving
Jeffrey
on.
Tucker. Jeffrey Tucker, friend of the show. Nobody asked what that means to be a friend of the show. I'm just going to call people friends of the show. It implies we have an ongoing relationship. It implies they've been on the show. For the gold subscribers, they'd know the Jeffrey Tucker episode. Jeffrey Tucker, friend of the show, works over at the American Economic Research Institute Center, something. I had it. Fuck. American Institute for Economic Research in Barrington, Massachusetts. And he's been doing yeoman's work on the lockdown and why it's crazy. I remember he was doing this whole series of articles 3 times a week about COVID and lockdowns and kind of just fighting the hysteria. He had a really good one where he read the book Cell Biology for Dummies, and then he basically gave a here's what you would learn if you read Cell Biology. It was like a Cell Biology for Dummies for Dummies. He's been doing a lot about this. So I don't know how he did this, but he managed to get Sunetra Gupta of Oxford University, Jay Bhattacharya of Stanford, and Martin Kulldorff of Harvard. all these people are preeminent in their field in epidemiology and in the mathematical modeling of infectious disease spreads. They're all at the top of their field. These are people that this is not like, you Bill Nye the Science Guy or something. And they got together. He brought them together at AEIR in Great Barrington, Massachusetts, and they wrote up sort of a one-page declaration on here's what we should do, and what they call it is focused protection. So it's basically saying you end stay-at-home orders, you end lockdowns, you end mandatory restrictions on activities, and you let people on an individual level, based on their own perception of risk, you give them information and access to it, and you let them decide what they want to do, activities, risks, restrictions, whatever. And it's basically a herd immunity strategy. It's, let the healthy people go out and spread the virus. You keep the sick people at home, not force them to be home, but you let people stay home if they feel like they're in danger. And then when we reach herd immunity, goes away, we can reintroduce everybody, everybody's fine. It's basically a freedom-based, common sense approach to the virus. They got that sent out, they signed it, they have other signatories. I'm waiting to see how many people have signed it.
Like anything that was done by Jeffrey Tucker, I'm sure this has been taken very seriously by people in power, and it's being seriously debated fairly and on its merits in the halls of the mainstream media. Right?
Well, I've been very interested to see that everybody has actually responded. I thought that this would happen, and he would put out a press release, and then maybe Rush Limbaugh would talk about it, and that's the end of that. But it's gone all over the place. Tucker talked about it, so it's reached a mass audience. It's gotten, I guess, hundreds or thousands of people to sign it so far. I can't tell. Dr. Fauci himself was asked to address it, and of course he didn't address any of the specific points made. He just said herd immunity is not a real thing. That's crazy. No, he said he didn't say that, but he said herd immunity is irresponsible, and we can't do that. So he basically
vaccines work, Dr. Fauci. What is the point of a vaccine?
Hey,
why is it important that I get a vaccine?
Hey, this guy's questioning Dr. Fauci over here.
Like,
put on your goggles, wear your mask during sex. That's what Fauci says. Okay? No eyeball to eyeball contact.
It's so dumb how people are about this. I really had like a libertarian even say, I can't. Because I said, once I get the virus, I'm immune to it. And they said, we don't know if this is one of those viruses that you're immune to it after you recover. I was like, you mean every virus? Literally?
Well, this is what they keep saying. So they'll say, we know that, wearing a mask is better than a vaccine. Everyone knows that. The CDC director said it. Then the CDC also said, after that, they said, masks were never intended to protect the wearer of the mask. And then they've also said, but wear your mask to make sure you don't get...
Your mask protects me.
Yes, exactly. But at the same time, they're saying Trump got COVID because he didn't wear a mask. But they go back and forth, and they make all these claims and these contradictory things. You got this. We know you have to do this. We know you have to wear a mask. We know you can't be within 6 feet of people. We know we can't have kids back in school. We know you can only have one person per every 1,000 square feet. And then if you question any of it, and you say, well, actually... here's a bunch of charts of the masks mandates and doesn't seem to have any effect on the case rate. Here's the case fatality rate. Blah, blah, blah. They say, well, there's so much we don't know. So until we know things, just do what Fauci says. Because there's so much we don't know. So therefore, whatever Fauci says goes. What? What's wrong?
No, it's just also
it's
tiring.
Infuriating to me. Maybe I can't tell me or you're saying it. Them. But
it's just also tiring.
That's what they want. They're trying to wear us down. We have to stay angry. It's hard to do, but God damn it, you have to stay angry.
We already used that clip, right? I want you to get mad. The newsroom or whatever.
I think we did actually. We should just start the show with that every clip. I want you to go right now to your window, open it, stick your head out, and cough. They say, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this. Put on the tinfoil hat, put on the beanie with the propeller on it. And as soon as you say, are we sure the tinfoil hat does anything? They go, well, there's so much we don't know. So until we know, just assume everything that I say is a fact. Well, you know what? I'm immune. I've decided I'm immune to COVID. This is my personal choice I'm making.
I wish I'd gotten COVID in fucking April.
I think I did get it.
It would have saved
me
in
March,
so much time.
I have a contact tracing of my own I've done. I have a friend who went to Indonesia.
Oh my god!
Came back from Bali.
What was he? What was your friend doing in Indonesia?
He was visiting Bali.
What was he doing there?
What? I don't know what that means.
What was he doing?
He was partying. It's a vacation. Okay. He was enjoying the weather.
Okay.
What's going on? What are you implying? No, he went to a resort in Bali. It was him and like a million white 20-somethings.
Okay.
Anyway, I have a friend who went to Indonesia for non-nefarious purposes. He was in Indonesia. He came back, and immediately, this was just around the time that people were talking about COVID, but they weren't. It wasn't really a thing in America.
It was at the time when it was racist to care about COVID.
Yes, right around the time it was racist to care about COVID. My friend, who is black, which is relevant to the story because we know that.
Well, and then, are you saying that you have black friends?
I slipped it in there. Yeah, I did.
That's crazy, dude.
The point is, he was in a risk group for COVID. He got COVID. I'm pretty sure. We don't know. But he had something that the symptoms of it sound like COVID. He described it as like the worst flu he's ever had. Mm-hmm. 2 weeks later, he's related to my other friend. That kid's mom got sick with like a flu-like symptoms. 2 weeks. And around 2 weeks later, my friend also got something like a mild flu. And then 2 weeks after that, after I had been seeing them, I got something like a heavy cold and pink eye. And at the time, I found out that pink eye, something to do with the virus, you can get pink eye from COVID. And I believe that's the only explanation I could come up with for why I had it. And the timeline all seems to make sense because then 2 weeks after that, half the people at my work got COVID. Confirmed COVID. So I think they got it from me, and I got it from my friend who got it from Asia.
And I got it from Agnes, and she got it from Jim, and we all believe it was Louise who gave it to him.
I'm pretty sure that I've been immune to COVID since early April or late March. But I'm going to need everyone to PayPal me because very soon I might be quitting my job for my refusal to wear a mask. I was reading Rod Dreher's book, Live Not by Lies, and then I was listening to Tom Woods gave a speech about the lockdown.
Yeah, it got me all Tom Woods owned the lockdowners yet again.
He smashed them. They're smashed into pieces.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
All the king's horses and all the king's men can't put them back together again. And I got myself all riled up, and I was like, I'm not wearing a mask anymore. They're going to have to... And I'll probably wear the mask first time the occasion arises. My previous attempt to resist the mask cult lasted 2 days. I was chased out of a Target. I was threatened by the manager of a Texas Roadhouse who called me a tough guy and threatened to beat me up on my way out the door.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Because I didn't hear him, and I was walking out of the Texas Roadhouse, and I didn't put my mask back on. And he said, make sure you wear a mask. And I said, I'm on my way out. And he flipped out, but I never broke stride, so I didn't know he was flipping out. And then he was just yelling at me from 10 feet away as I walked out the door and said something, and threatened to go outside with me and then called me a tough guy, which was relayed to me by someone else. I know this because I, quote, ruined dinner. I ruined the night out. Someone else accosted me, and I did nothing.
Speaking of people who need to be tough, the Libertarian president in exile, I thought of that joke myself, John McAfee has been arrested in Spain. Ladies and gentlemen, they got him.
You're going to have to do an insert of some kind of like crowd booing or something. Or a crowd going, aww.
Honestly, I don't know how he got caught, but his wife was tweeting on his behalf. He was like giving off like dispatches from prison, talking about the graffiti he saw on the walls of a cell. And he was talking about
how he keeps his back to the wall.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to thrive in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Any other like billionaire who goes to prison, he's fucked. John McAfee, it's like that from Watchmen when Rorschach goes to prison and he says, I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. John McAfee was like, people, listen, my God, I'm not locked in here with you, people. You're fucking locked in here